Hey everyone, welcome to another edition of PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Today's video, we are going to be continuing Neon Genesis Evangelion Redemption, What If Shinji Went Back in Time, Book 1, Part 10. As always, if you're new to the channel or if you're a regular and you like what we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. As we go into part 10 of this series, we will only have 2 more parts left before the completion of Book 1. Throughout this journey, we've seen the fallout of Shinji's attempt to try to change history. Being given a second chance, Shinji was sent back in time to the start of Evangelion, with knowledge of the future. However, for all of the battles won, there also came more difficulties, as the enemy soon discovered Shinji's true nature and have now used it against him. With no other choice, Shinji must now aid the enemy in making a deal that will allow for this reality to be spared a cruel fate. However, as Shinji now prepares to meet his end, what will the fallout be for those who are left behind? Is this truly the end for Shinji Ikari? And if not, what happens when our heroes are separated worlds apart? For all this and more, stay tuned as we now continue Neon Genesis Evangelion Redemption, What If Shinji Went Back in Time? Book 1, Part 10. As always, sit back, relax, and enjoy the show. There was a brief silence as all members of the Eva team stood. Off in the distance, in the open field, the only one left was Karo. In the mental scape, where only Shinji's thoughts and Karo's thoughts could be linked, as they were both of angelic descent, the plan would be initiated. What exactly do I have to do? Don't worry, Shinji. It's quite simple. You are the doorway to a world that we want to see. All you have to do is buy time. Is that all? You'll give me as much as I need, and not a minute before. I see. Anything specific? Oh no, just make sure you keep your friends away. You're free to use whatever methods you like. Fine then. Everyone would stand on guard. Toji, Kinsuke, Shinji, Mari, Rei, and Asuka. Toji would look over to Shinji. Hey Shin Man, what do we have to... Before he could even finish his sentence, Shinji and Eva Unit 1 would deliver a devastating right hook to Toji inside of Eva Unit 4, knocking him clean to the ground. Shinji, what are you... Shinji would deliver a back fist to Kinsuke. Before Marie and Asuka knew what had happened, the two of them would be given a gut check and they would be sent flying. Rei had been caught off guard by the sudden change in mood as Shinji delivered a devastating side kick, knocking her down. What's the meaning of this? Fukushiki, what's going on? I don't know, Gendo. Shinji's just gone off the deep end. He started attacking everyone. He what? Misato would ask. Shinji! Shinji, answer me right now. What is the meaning of this? Shinji! Shinji! Shinji's communications were off. No point talking to Nerve. Gendo, I understand. Call the kill switch. Shut down Eva Unit 1. We're trying, sir. It's not working. What? It's as if our signal is being blocked. But when did he... The activation codes. He must have gotten a hold of him somehow. But who could have given it to him? On the outside of Nerve's base, Kaji simply watched. As he looked at his watch before carrying on in view of the fight. He was the one that managed to steal the kill switch activation codes. Giving them to Shinji, he was able to work his magic when others weren't around, making sure that he would be in complete control of his Evangelion. Of course, Kaji was one of the few who had been in the loop about who and what Shinji truly was. Of course, he didn't fully agree with everything that Shinji was doing. After all, if he had simply come and asked for help, maybe this could have been avoided. Although, maybe this would have led to an even worse outcome. He pitied the young man. Brave, valiant. No better way for a hero to die. As everyone stood back to their feet, Shinji would block the two of them, as Kaoru would continue his assault on Nerve. Sir, we've been breached. By what? It appears to be a boy. That's no boy, that's an angel. Quick, put down the shutdown sequence immediately. He is not to get to the lower deck under any circumstances. Understood. In the meantime, everyone else would get back onto their feet. Everyone rallying now as Shinji stood between them and Nerve. Shinji, Asuka would ask, what are you doing? Come on, has the angel gotten a hold of you? Snap out of it! Shinji, answer me! If you want to get to the base, you're gonna have to kill me. What? Toji would say. I knew it, Marie would say. It's true. You're one of them. I guess you could say that. Come on. Shinji. Rei would try to speak up. If there's something wrong, we can figure something out. There's no time. You only have one job. You've got to defeat an angel. And it's standing right in front of you. Come on. We're not gonna... Toji tried to speak up once again, but he only was answered by another punch to the face, knocking him clean to the ground. If you don't take this seriously, everyone's gonna die. Come at me like you want to kill me. That's it! Wait! Toji, don't! Shut up, Kinsuke! You heard him! This is what he wants, isn't it? My sister. My family. I'm not gonna let this world end because of this selfish bastard. Alright, Captain. You wanna fight? I'll give you one! Unit 4 and Unit 1 would engage in a battle of fists. The others weren't sure of how to react. They weren't sure of what they were supposed to do. Misato would be yelling orders for them to try to restrain Shinji. Something wasn't right. It wasn't adding up. But no one knew for sure. They attempted to try to bind and hold him in place, as both Rei and Kinsuke would try to grab for either of his arms, holding him just long enough as Toji started to deliver a headshot after a headshot. Come on! Come on! I just gotta knock him out. That's it! Shit! Son, what are you doing? It's fine, Mother. You just have to trust me. But why are you... Mother, just leave it to me. I'll handle it. Alright. I guess I can't afford to go easy on you guys. Well, here you go! With his arms being restrained, Shinji would pull both Rei and Kinsuke together, making both of them give one another a headbutt in their avas before they both collapse. As Toji and Mari would both charge in, both of them filled with anger and for the betrayal. Shinji knew that it was best not to get into too close of a fighting range to them. As he backed away, he would use his Eva blaster, shooting at them. Not doing anything lethal, but it was giving them a sting to say the least. Unfortunately for you guys, you should have spent more time in the firing range. Of course, the one thing Shinji wasn't expecting was a roundhouse kick to the back of his head from Eva Unit 2, as the other Evas were on the ground. Only Eva Units 1 and 2 were left standing. I expected that from you. Oh, really? Shinji, what's the meaning of this? What's gotten into you? You know, Asuka, you're really annoying. What? You heard me. You're annoying. It's annoying just to hear you talk. It's annoying to hear you complain. That voice, it's so irritating. I can't get it out of my head. Shinji, why are you acting like this? Why are you acting like you care? We all know you only wanted Kaji. What? That's right. Every time you're with me, I know you're only thinking of him. How could you say that? Oh please, don't play dumb. We all know you'll do anything for him. For all I know, you probably weren't even a Shinji couldn't even finish his sentence as Asuka punched him square in the gut before kneeing him in the face and knocking him to the ground. Shut the hell up! I trusted you! I gave myself to you! I let you in! I let you inside me! And this is what you do? I hate you! I hate you! Asuka would stay on top of Shinji, raining down punches from above in her Eva. The only thing that could be seen were the fiery red fists that were pounding Eva Unit 1 into the dirt. I'll kill you! 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 Asuka was only filled with pure rage. You could almost feel the blood intent oozing off of Eva Unit 2 as it continued its devastating attack on Eva Unit 1. As the others came to their senses, they could see that Asuka was in a sense of a blind rage. Misato! Misato! What is it? It's Eva Unit 2. Its sync ratio. It's beginning to rise beyond its max. It's what? Asuka, she's pushing past 100%. Oh no. What's going on with the others? They slowly seem to be coming to. Eva Unit 1's not doing anything. And what about the breach? The Angels reached down to the 14th sector. But how? Ritsuko would ask. It seems to be going past our defenses. Everything that we're doing is only seeming to slow it down, but it's not stopping. What do we do? Quick, we need to call some of the Evas back. But what about Shinji? There's no time. If it gets all the way down to the bottom, it's over. So, you are the first. Lilith. Karo would stand in front of the impaled angel. As he reached up towards it, an army of guards would come with their guns drawn. You are annoying. But I suppose I should keep my end of the deal. You should be lucky and grateful to him. He's the only reason you all are getting to live. Karo raised his hands. A wave of energy, his AT field, blasting them all back. As he reached up, he would lift his hands and motion towards the spear that had impaled the angel. The only thing that was remaining was its upper half, its bottom half completely destroyed. As he did so, the spear of Longinus would be removed. You're nothing but a husk, but no matter. They'll be dealing with you very, very soon. The body of the angel Lilith was left now, dangling off of the red cross. As Karo took the spear of Longinus, it would shrink down to a much more reasonable size in his hand. Phase 1 complete. Now time for Phase 2. In the meantime, the other Evas would all be doing their best to try to get Asuka off of Shinji. However, now the only thing she could see was anger and rage. The only thing that mattered to her was pure destruction. The boy she thought she loved had betrayed her. But this was nothing new for Asuka. First her mother, her father, now Shinji. And here she was thinking that she could finally be vulnerable, that she could finally let her true self be. She thought that she had found someone she could confide in, the person whom she swore her life to, the person she married on the dime just because he asked, the person that experienced her in many ways, her first kiss, her first everything. He had lied to her, lied to everyone, betrayed them, and now, worse than that, he attempted to use her weakness against her. No, Asuka would never allow herself to be in that situation ever again. As her fist continued to rain down, the face of Eva Unit 1 beginning to crack and break, Shinji could feel the blood streaming from his mouth and from his nose. He probably had multiple concussions right about now. She was definitely not holding back. Of course, all he had to do was wait for the signal. And it finally came. Well, it's been fun, I guess. Shinji! Shinji! Father? What's the meaning of this? What are you doing? I'm protecting you. What? How do you call this protection? Everyone here wants to kill you. It's fine. Don't worry about Sele. They're all coming with me. What? Check the dummy plug. With that, Shinji would open his eyes. Activation! 500%! Instantly, the sync ratio between Shinji and Eva Unit 1 would reach to a higher proportion than could ever have been thought. Everyone would be blown away. The power he possessed, it was truly magnificent. As Karo would now rise into the air, the spear of Longinus would now grow back into size as Shinji took it into his hands. So, this is it, huh? All you have to do is be the doorway to the new world. A world much preferred. I understand. As Shinji looked out to everyone, as they were slowly getting back on their feet. And so, it'll be quick, right? It'll be quick, I promise you. Shinji pointed the edge of the spear towards the heart of Eva Unit 1, symbolic of his own heart. With its sync ratio now raised to its absolute max, the spear would be plunged into Eva Unit 1. There would be a bright burst of light, a ground-shaking earthquake. It seemed as though the heavens themselves were crying. And in the midst of it all, as the smoke cleared, as the dust settled, the only thing that was left was the impaled Eva Unit 1 that was stripped of its purple and green color, and now it was nothing more but a husk of gray and black. All communication was gone. A crew would be rushed out immediately to cut open the hatch for Eva Unit 1. And as they did so, it would be revealed that it was empty. Within the pool of LCL, there was nothing. Only an empty plug suit. There was no traces of Shinji anywhere. However, there was something else. Checking the backup hatch within the dummy plug system, there was a life form within it. A crew would be called to open it immediately. And once they did, when they saw who was inside, a great gasp would fall over everyone. "Send word to the captain, immediately! On it! Captain Ikari! What is it? You need to come see this immediately! I can't... Just get here!" Gendo would immediately rush on to the scene of the fight. As he did so from helicopter, he was rushed over to where the spare plug was. As he made his way, and as he looked down, he was left in absolute silence, because lying before him was a revived Yue Ikari, the wife that he had lost almost 10 years ago. There was a dark atmosphere over everyone at Nerve. No one could really make sense of what had just happened. All contact with Sele, gone. It was almost as if they never existed. But still, even with that fortunate news, it didn't change the overall mood of everyone involved in it. The pilots were all in the infirmary, everyone suffering their own injuries, both physical and mental. Yue Ikari somehow had been brought back into the world of the living, her soul being saved from Eva Unit 1. However, among many things that were on everyone's mind, it was the disappearance of the pilot of Eva Unit 1, Shinji Ikari. Or rather, whoever it was that claimed to be Shinji Ikari. For what everyone had thought, he was nothing but a prodigy, a boy who could do no wrong. And then suddenly he did a lot of wrong. And then suddenly, everything and all traces of him were gone as well. There was a search, of course, but it became very obvious very quickly that he was nowhere in this world. Wherever Sele had gone, it seemed as though they weren't going to be coming back. That just left everyone else behind to pick up the pieces of what remained. Of course, everyone grieved in their own ways. Toji, he tried punching a wall. Kensuke, he was silent. Rei said nothing either. Asuka was the most quiet of them all. Everyone just trying to make sense of what had happened. Misato probably would have been a mess if it hadn't been for Kaji. She was thankful to have him in her life. As the investigation was ongoing and everyone was still trying to rebuild, Gendo was at the bedside of his wife. Somehow she had returned. Of course, by what methods or means, he honestly had no clue. This was his goal. It's what he wanted. It's what he had done all of this for, from the very beginning. And yet now that he had what he thought he had always wanted, why did he still feel so empty inside? Was it the loss of Shinji? Sure, that was his son, but it wasn't really his son, was it? No, he was a boy from another timeline, from another world. A world where everything went to hell. And he had a hand in doing it. Gendo knew he couldn't live by that logic. He knew that Yui wouldn't allow him to. That was his son. No matter what the timeline, no matter what the universe, his son had made the sacrifice. The sacrifice that brought Yui back to life. However, it seemed it came at the cost of his own. Although why had he gone berserk? Why had he done the things that he had done? Eventually, everyone would be called in that knew of the situation. Kaji, Gendo, Misato, Asuka, Rei, Kinsuke, Marie, Ritsuko, Yui, as she was pushed into a wheelchair, and a few others. Kaji had called them all here. Of course, for why, they had no way of knowing, until he explained. I'm sure you all have a lot of questions. You're all probably wondering why I've asked you to be here. Well, for Gendo and for Yui, I imagine you all know the truth, but I guess it's time we fill in the others. What truth? Toji would ask. The truth about Shinji, about who he really is, about where he came from. How much do you really know about him? I can't say I know much, Kinsuke would add. I mean, when we first met him, he was just a kid in class. We later learned that he was an Eva pilot. But what if I told you that wasn't the first time that Shinji had been in that situation? What do you mean? Well, no point in dragging it out. The Shinji you knew was not the original Shinji. At least not quite. Not the original Shinji? Rei would ask. No. The Shinji that you've all known up until now, the one you've interacted with, he's actually from the future. Asuka? Oh, Kaji. It's not funny, Asuka, Misato would say. Oh, Misato, it's hilarious. Oh, that's rich. Wonder Boy from the future. Who made up that excuse, huh? Let's just be for real. He was nothing but an idiot. An absolute idiot. And I'm glad he's dead. Before she could even finish that statement, Rei would deliver a swift slap to her face. Don't ever say that about my brother again. I wonder if you really are siblings. Who knows, maybe he lied about that too. In either case, he left this behind. A videotape? He had me help him make it. Kaji, you've known something about Shinji now, haven't you? Can't say I've known for too long, Misato. I was kept in the dark mostly, but him giving me the news that he did actually saved my life. But all of it will be revealed once we play the video. Lights, please. The lights would be closed off in the room. The videotape would be pushed into the cassette, and Shinji would be standing in front of the screen, fixing the monitor. I hope this thing works. Well, hey everyone. Shinji Ikari here. Well, at least a lot of you might not think that I am, but I assure you, I am Shinji Ikari, just not one that you would have been familiar with. I guess if I'm going to explain everything to you all, I should start from the beginning, although I don't really have that much time. I am from a different reality. I come from a world where Third Impact already occurred, and where humanity was cast into human instrumentality. I was the sole survivor. Nothing left. You could say it was hell on earth. However, an angel by the name of Lilith gave me a second chance. She sent my consciousness back into the past, from a starting point, if you will. From there, my memories, who I am now from the future, were uploaded into my past body. However, the process was one that took a while. As such, I had to be careful with how I used my power in this world. It also explains why I was doing so well with my sync test. I just had the experience, that's all. It wasn't because I was a prodigy. It wasn't because I was talented or because I was special. You could say I was nothing more but a kid that knew all the answers to the test. A cheater, if you will. Anyway, I was sent back to a point in time. A time before everything went crazy. I believed with the knowledge that I had I could make a difference, and I managed to do so. For Toji, your sister actually got hurt very badly in my first battle. However, I used that experience to make sure that neither she nor anyone else got hurt. And you could say that I followed a similar trajectory for every other mission that I took. However, when I arrived to the past, I quickly realized that things were not going to be exactly the way I thought they were. You see, things worked different. For one, the angels were aware of just who and what I truly was this whole time. Every battle that you thought was normal, it wasn't. There were a lot of things that happened here that didn't happen in my timeline. Ultimately, my father found out the truth, and later on I told Kaji as well, to help save him from a worser fate that he would have experienced otherwise. Now, whether or not you all believe me, I can't actually say for sure. Truthfully, you have no reason to. As far as you're all concerned, you'll think that I simply went mad and I was ultimately killed. However I get killed, I'm not entirely sure either. But anyway, the point of this video is, well, is to let you guys know of what's happening. At least, what you should be expecting. Seele, they're gone. I took them with me back to my original timeline. I was able to get there, however I've been able to do it. I've basically been used as a doorway to another world, and Seele have chosen to take their talents there, along with the remaining angels. Whatever's happening in my timeline, well, that timeline's just left to be a pure hell. But for here, you all have a chance. There are no angels, there's no Seele, no enemy left for you to face. I say that the best thing you can do now is decommission the Evangelions, destroy them if need be, and live about your regular lives. Thankfully, the pension system that I set up, it will allow you all to retire anywhere you want to go. You should all be able to take care of yourselves just fine. Asuka. Asuka would perk up as she looked towards the screen. Chances are you're going to hate me. I know I'm probably said and done some very mean and hurtful things to you, but please know that it was never my intention to harm you. I know you're probably thinking a lot of things in your mind right now. Did I ever truly love you? Were you just a replacement for another Asuka? I can assure you that I never viewed you in that way at all. The Asuka I knew in my timeline was the girl I had been telling you about this whole time. And I say that I love her just as much as I love you because you are both the same. The only difference is the fact that, unlike how I acted the first time, I actually chose to try. I took the chance to try to be there for you. It wasn't easy, although with you nothing ever is. But I don't view that as a bad thing. It was brief, but I can truly say I was happy. I know that I'm going to die soon. No way of getting around it. This is retribution for the angels for everything that I've done. This is my burden to bear. But even still, I do love you. And I'd say that if I have any one true regret, is that I didn't get to spend the rest of my life with you like I promised. Mother, Father, I know that, technically speaking, you might not actually be my mother and father, but I view you as such. I hope you all live a happy and fulfilling life. Dad, I know things aren't easy for you. You often have a tendency to want to manage everything, but please, just focus on what's important. There's no reason to worry about anything else. Toji, Kinsuke, you guys were my best friends in either world. Truly, I had a lot of fun seeing you all again, and I hope this time you'll live better lives. Mari, our time was brief. Truth be told, I didn't know you in my previous life. Maybe it was a change of circumstances that brought you in it, but I know I can trust and depend on you to watch after the others. Misato, you always opened up your home to me. You watched over and cared for all of us. I know I have a mom, but I'd be lying if I said I didn't think of you as one as well. Don't think you failed me. Don't think you did a bad job. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't have the strength to do what I need to do. And I hope someday you'll find happiness. Looks like there's not too much time left, and I guess I gotta get going. Take care of yourselves. Really. Bye. The video would end. No one knew what to say. No one knew what to do. In the end, there was a strong mix of emotion. Rage, sadness, loss, despair. Everything rolled into one. For a long time, everyone just stood there. Before long, though, it was just decided that everyone should just get some rest. Gendo and his wife, they had a lot of talking to do. Misato, she went home. Kaji was there to comfort her. Kinsuke spent time with Rei. Toji, he went back to his family. Mari was watching over Asuka, but Asuka didn't have much to say at all. As she was going to bed, trying to process everything she had heard in that last video, as she looked towards her hand, she saw the ring that Shinji had given her the night that he proposed, the same night they got married, the same night that everything changed for her. A single tear fell from her eye. You idiot! Stupid Shinji! In the midst of red of an orange sea, Shinji found himself awakening once more. What the? Where am I? You're back. Lilith? Welcome, Shinji. How? I overdid it. I should be... When they used you as a doorway, I managed to pull you back here. But shouldn't that have been impossible? To be honest, there are a lot of things in this world that even I cannot fully explain. But I feel as though it is not your time. So, this is it, huh? Is this, yes, this is your world? As Shinji looked off in the distance, he could see a multitude of creatures. What the... Are those... Yes, Shinji. They are the angels that you have defeated. They have come back into the world of instrumentality. But how? I know I killed them all. It's not that simple, Shinji. They seek vengeance for what you've done. This is your penance. Of course, it was assumed that you would have died being the gateway. Of course. Now, they just get to kill both you and Lilith. Kororo? What are you doing here? I told you I was going to come along. And I take it you want vengeance as well? Oh, nothing like that. Actually, I'm here to help. We both are, Lilith would say. Both Lilith and Kororo would hold hands. As they merged together, a large beam of light would appear. And now Shinji saw what was standing before him. A reformed Eva Unit 1. You guys! I've decided to take the form of Eva Unit 1, Kororo would say. And I am the soul, Lilith would say. Now all we need is a pilot, they said in unison. Shinji immediately jumped into the hand of Eva Unit 1. As it opened its mouth and Shinji jumped inside, he immediately saw the controls inside of his pod. Everything. So what now? Nothing, Lilith would say. There's nothing left in this world but pure destruction. In all likelihood, they'll just go back on their promise. They'll attempt to find other worlds, or go back to that one. I won't let them. As Shinji stood at the ready, every angel that he had ever fought were all united together as one, as they spoke together. Shinji Ikari, you are guilty. Your crime, trying to change the flow of time itself, going against the will of the universe. Yeah, like I haven't heard that before. Lilith, you have attempted to sway the foundation of reality. As a betrayal to your brethren, you and the 14th will also be punished. Not like I didn't see that coming, Kororo would say. Well, you guys, if this is how it ends, let's take every last single one of them with us. All three would yell together as one, as Eva Unit 1 went charging straight into the horde. In the midst of their clash, Asuka would awaken. She awoke in a cold sweat. That can't be... Asuka would immediately run, awakening the others. As everyone gathered out of their rooms, they would listen to Asuka telling what she had seen. They all thought that it was just a mere dream, that there was no way that it could actually be real. However, an emergency meeting would be called at Nerve. And they weren't the only ones there, as Yue had also had the dream of her son and the situation he was in. "What does this mean, Gendo?" Fukasaki would ask. "I didn't think it'd be possible. But he's still alive," Asuka would say. "He got sent back, but he's still alive, and he's still fighting, alone." "Then what exactly are we supposed to do?" Toji would say. "I mean, if I could help him, I would, but we have no way of getting there." "Then we'll find a way. I know we can." Asuka? That idiot. That stupid idiot, thinking that he can handle everything on his own like he's the only good pilot? He has all the nerve. "Asuka, are you okay?" "I'm more than okay. I'm great, because I know exactly what I have to do." "What's that?" Ray would ask. "It's simple. I'm gonna go to that reality, I'm gonna find him, I'm gonna punch him in his stupid face." And then she turned back to the others, as tears welled in her eyes. "And then, I'm bringing him back home. And I don't care what it takes. I'm not leaving without him." This concludes Neon Genesis Evangelion Redemption. What if Shinji went back in time? Book 1, Part 10. As always, if you enjoyed today's video and everything else that we have to offer, then please don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, and hit that bell for post notifications so you can stay up to date on everything that is PowerCore Productions and Podcastings that has to come out now and in the future. Stay tuned for Monday's video as we continue Naruto Polaris Shippuden. What if Hanabi Hyuga was born first? Part 13. But anyway, that's going to do it for the end of today's video. I'm Javon Harrington with PowerCore Productions and Podcastings. Signing off, and I'll see you next time.